Does it look like I have ears on? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some creepy cast member stories. Not really creepy, just good and bad. Let's say good and bad. Cast member stories, things that I experienced while on my Disney college program. I have this cute Disney cup. I think this is from McDonald's in like the 2000s. Yeah, it says 2000. McDonald's used to give these away or something. I don't know, I was 3, what do I know? I'm going to try and be a good storyteller in this video. There might be a few cuts. That's okay, because I'm gonna try my best. Let's start off with the bad ones. Let's just jump right in and then we'll finish it off on a good note. I worked in Cosmic Race on my college program, and this was on one of my first days like actually working there, so I still had the earning my ears badge on, but I wasn't in training. I was on the filler position, which is the one who like grabs the tray of food and gives it over the counter to the guest. And there was this one lady, well, let me remind you, this was in like August. It was really hot outside, like it was lunchtime. I get it, you're sweating and hungry, whatever. Still no reason to be rude to someone who did nothing to you, but anyway. This lady comes up to the counter and she gives me her receipt, so I check it out and I'm like, okay, cool. She wants a hot dog. Great. So I have to wait for the hot dog to come out, match up the number, and then it's hers. Okay. She was right up on the counter, like first one in line. I see her, you know, out behind me comes the chicken nuggets, and it's for someone who's behind her, so I give him the chicken nuggets. Then there's more chicken nuggets and more chicken nuggets. So I'm giving them out to people who's behind her, but she ordered a hot dog. Keep that in mind. Eventually, after I've given out like 3 trays of chicken nuggets to people behind her, she's like, hey, where's my food? What's going on? Like, understandable, like you don't really get it. People behind you are getting food, where's my hot dog? So the kitchen was putting out a load of chicken nuggets, but the hot dogs weren't cooked yet, so I had to explain that to her. Anyway, she was just giving me like rude tones, I don't know what to say. She was being mean. So eventually I grab the hot dog from behind me and I give it to her and I say, I'm so sorry, it's my first day, blah blah blah, and she goes, yeah, clearly. So then I was like, can I take a 10-10? Just means, can somebody watch my spot when I go to like the bathroom or like get a drink or something? And then I just went to the bathroom and I cried, which sounds, I mean, it's funny now, but at the time I was like, oh my god, I'm in Disney World, this is my first day, this is so sad. Why is this lady being so mean to me? I didn't do anything to her. It's funny to me now. Stupid hot dog lady. I know that was a short story, but it gets a lot worse towards the end with the other stories I have. But let's talk about a good story. I really loved interacting with the guests whenever I worked there, but sometimes it was hard because I was always behind the counter. But on those days that I was in the dining room, I got to like hand out stickers and silly stuff like that. But one of the times that I always remember, which is why I wanted to work for Disney, is there was this little girl and she was dressed in like her princess outfit, and she had the bubble blower that was going off. It was just blowing bubbles everywhere in the music, and it was kind of slowish. So I went up to her and we were like dancing with the music, and she was blowing the bubbles, and I hung out with her for like 20 minutes and I gave her like a free cake, chocolate cake that we had. And her parents took pictures with me and like the little girl. That is one of my favorite moments that I can remember doing, and I wish I could take pictures with all of them too so that I could remember it, but they have that picture with me, which is kind of interesting to think about. I wish I could keep all the pictures that I took with them. I know that one is a short one, but I don't really know how to go into detail because we just danced and hung out and I gave her free cake and then we took pictures, and that was special to me. The next bad story I have to look at my list. This is a really bad one. How do I begin? When it gets really busy, when it's at peak times, like lunchtime in the holidays. I know if you go into a restaurant or anywhere, you see those signs that are like, oh, capacity is like 100 people, whatever. And you never really take into account those numbers until the restaurant actually reaches its capacity and you have to hold the door shut. Coming on a busy day is not my fault. Anyway, they assigned me, one of my like 5'2", like 100 pounds They assigned me to stand outside and hold the door shut and be like, oh no, you're not allowed in, but if you just wait in this line, I'll let you know when you can come in. Because everyone likes to hear that when it's 90 degrees outside and you've had to wait in long lines all day and you're hungry, or you have to go to the bathroom, or your kids are crying. If you haven't been to Magic Kingdom before, there's just the castle there and there's a bridge, and then Cosmix is on the right side, and on the left side there is a bathroom. That'll come in handy, trust me. As I clock in to my day, or whatever you want to say, I clock in to Disney World. It says like, see a coordinator, so I'm like, okay, great. That usually means they have no positions open, like they're kind of fully staffed, everything is good. So I went up there and I'm like, hi, it told me to see you guys, and they're like, oh yeah, we need you to go stand outside, like relieve so and so, like tell them they can go on their lunch, go and take their spot, stand outside, hold the doors. They don't tell you much. That's all I was given, so I'm like, okay, whatever, no big deal. Like, I get to stand outside and I get to watch the parade and the fireworks, like that's really cool. They give me this like Buzz Lightyear hand, which is so hot and sweaty. Anyway, so I go outside and the guy's like, oh my god, thank you so much, and I'm like, great, this should be fun. Luckily I was in the shade, so that was nice. I go to stand outside and I'm holding the doors and there's like this line, and they're like, only let them in when so-and-so gives you a signal. So there's like a few doors to Cosmix, so they had someone at my door, and then 2 other doors were blocked off, and so they would look at me and be like, okay, it's fine, or no, it's not fine. So I just had to hold the door shut and wait till they give me the signal. This was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my whole life, because people are coming up to you, they're like, really, I've waited in line all day and now I want to eat and I have to wait in line to eat, and I'm like, yes? I don't know what they want me to say, but yes. My family is in there, like I have to get in there, so I'm like, okay, and maybe they don't have family in there, maybe they're just cheating the system, but what am I gonna say? Oh no, you can't. So I'm just like, okay, go ahead. And they're like, hey, why did you let them in and you don't let us in? And I'm just like, oh my god, this is too much. They're like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, oh, it's over that way. Just keep going right across from us. They would get so mad when I would send them to the bathroom 10 feet from where they're already at. This one lady was just like, hi, I'm hungry and I want to get inside, and I'm like, okay, well, there's a line. We're at full capacity right now, like you can't come in. And she's like, that's stupid. And I'm like, yeah, well. And she was just like, well, that's ridiculous. And she just opened the door right where I was blocking it. And she just walked right inside. And then that didn't stop. The whole stampede just ran in. Again, I just started crying. So stupid. But this one guy was really nice. He was like, Sophie, just tell us what you want us to do. Like, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just go. I don't even care. Like, mascara running down my face. I'm like, I don't even care. Just go inside. I couldn't even keep the doors closed. I'm like, go eat. And I don't care. And I went inside and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. This is stupid. And they're like, oh, well, that's what you have to do. That nice guy actually came outside, like, when they were finished, because I was still doing that job. And when he came outside, he was like, oh, thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. Have a good day. And I was like, thank you. They should have managers doing that. I don't know why I was doing that. So now I can talk about one of my favorite good stories. This was one of the best days I had working there. When I did the DCP, it was fall 2017. So there was actually a hurricane that hit Orlando that time. Was it like September time, I want to say? And they actually closed the parks for 2 days. So I was scheduled to work the day before it hit, and they were closing the park at 5 o'clock, I think, that day. So we all got to leave together. That was fun in its own way, because I don't know, like everyone leaving as a group. Usually like, okay, you close and then you can leave, and then you close and then you leave. But it was like, okay, everyone's good, we're good, let's all leave. And it was like 5 o'clock or so anyway, but the park was dead that day, because who would want to go that day? I mean, it was like downpouring the whole day. They had so many people working that day that we were all just kind of extra. And I mean, they sent who they could home, but when you're scheduled to close, you don't usually get to leave early. And that was me. DCP life. But they were like, here, take these stickers and just walk around and give them to people. There was nobody there. I swear there was like 5,000 people in the whole park, which sounds like a lot, but Magic Kingdom can hold, let's stretch it to like 100,000 people. So on a regular day, we would see like 60,000. I'm just guessing. I think so. But 5,000, it's nothing. So there was nobody around. And there was this one family while I was walking around like giving stickers out, and these two parents and the cutest little boy ever. And I was just talking to him and I'm like, what's your favorite part about Disney? Like, Mickey Mouse. Small world. But he was just the best. I talked to him for so long. I was giving away so much free stuff like cake or straws or a slushie, stickers. I mean, anything that I could give this kid. I'm like, here you go, do you want this? But I talked to him for like an hour because there was really nothing else to do, and that's what I was just told to interact with the guests. I hung out with him for so long. Again, we took pictures together and it was really cute. I wish I had those. He was just like attached with me. Like then wherever I would go, he would like come with me and he would just like sit on my lap and we would just talk for like an hour until we had to leave. But that was a lot of fun. That was like my favorite thing. This is my last story. This is the big moment, and I wish I could convey my emotions over the camera about how this one makes me feel, because whew, I will never forget this moment. I feel like I'm gonna be telling my grandkids like, yo, listen, don't work at Disney. No, just kidding. Work there, it's great, I swear. New Year's Eve is the busiest day at Disney World. You think Christmas? No. Like, it's busy. It's busy at Christmas. It doesn't compare to what New Year's Eve is. It's stressing me out just thinking about it, and it was almost 2 years ago, which is kind of crazy that it was almost 2 years ago. The park reaches its capacity on New Year's Eve. It's like 90,000, 100,000 people. I will insert a picture right here of what it looked like. Madness. Main Street fills up at 6. You start roping off things. Gets crazy. Gets crazy. I feel like I have to preface this so you can feel my pain and my tears. Yes, I cry again. Like, we know that by now. We know I'm gonna cry. I need a drink first. On New Year's Eve, they overstaffed, which they should have, because we need as many people as you can get. It is crazy. People start lining up to see the fireworks at like 6 or 7. Obviously it's at 12 o'clock, so they're way hours before. And Main Street was full by 6 or 7. You start roping off bridges. Like I said, if you've ever been to Magic Kingdom, the castle's in the middle, and then you have like a few bridges going off to each land basically, and Cosmic Rays is right after that bridge. I will try to find a picture and put it in so it makes more sense. They rope off each bridge so that no one can get into Main Street because it's full. Like, if you want a spot there, too bad, it's gone. They don't want you walking across because obviously it's just gonna get more full and there's no room. And like I said, Cosmix is right next to the bridge, so they roped off right where the bridge is. They don't let you stand on the bridge. So where it starts and ends is where they rope off. Got that? Okay. So again, I was given the great task to, I was on the inside now. Before I was on the outside holding the door shut. Now I'm on the inside saying no one can go out, like, oh, please exit that way. Basically, the Magic Kingdom is a madhouse on New Year's Eve. So I'm sure you have a bunch of people telling you to go a bunch of different ways, and you are just like, hi, where do I get out? I don't know what I'm doing. Because I was standing there like, oh, please exit this way. And I'm sure someone over that way was like, please exit that way. And you're like, where am I going? There was this guy who was twice my size, and he had his family with him. And they were trying to get onto Main Street, or you know what? Back up. To be honest, I don't know what they were trying to do to me. No, I don't know what they were trying to do in general, but he was a huge guy. Like, his stomach was like here on me, like. Anyway, so the whole night from like 6 on, I'm telling people, oh, please exit this way. This is not an exit. I had this other girl with me, like we were tag teaming it. To do it alone, I mean, she was my height, we're like 5'2", and we're like, please don't go this way. There was also somebody at the other door telling people like which way to go. So, you know, if you come to me, I'm like, oh, go this way, and then they're over there and they're like, yep, exit through here, right? Painting the picture for you guys. Mind you, the restaurant was like, I wouldn't say empty, but it was a lot slower than it would have been because people just wanted their spot to see the fireworks. And I just wanted to stress, like, it's in the sky, you can see it wherever you go. I get you want to be in front of the castle, get that moment, but like, I mean, I watched them. I just walked out of the restaurant when they came on and I watched all of them, and then I went back inside, and that was great for me. Back to the story. So this whole family is coming up. To be honest with you, I don't remember what they said, like quote by quote, but I just know that they wanted to get through where I was standing and go onto the bridge, and I'm like, oh, you can't do that, like blah blah blah. They were annoyed and they were like, okay, like whatever, we're gonna try and find a different. I'm like, okay, just go that way. Bye. They walk around that way, and then a little bit later I see them coming back. I was like, hello? And he's like, yeah, we want to go out this way. And I'm like, oh, well, you can't do that. So he starts to like walk towards me and like get in my face, and by a blessing, one of the leaders walks, I was blocking the doors like this. So he came behind the door, opened it up, and was like, yeah, you need to get away from her, and you have to exit that way, or else I'll call security. And I was like, thank you, thank you. He saved my life. And then I went and cried about it, because what else would I do, naturally? I don't remember what was said, but it was so bad. He was just like, in my face. But there was like multiple instances of that, but it never got to that intensity, if that makes sense. So like would have people come up to me all the time like, well, my family's over there and I need to get over there, and I'm like, I am so sorry, you're gonna have to use this door, or like, you're gonna have to go this way. And they were mad about it, but they would do it. They would just leave and go. But this guy, oh god, scares me every time. I don't even see his face, I just see his belly in my face. Although there was this little boy and he was like, but my family's over there, and I was like, okay, I'll take you. So I just walked him over there. But besides that, the lessons to be learned here are, don't be rude to somebody who has no control over the situation. I mean, it was like, I decided that you couldn't go this way, and I put the ropes up, and I decided, yeah, we're like full right now, so you're gonna have to go this way. I get that they're gonna take it out on the first person they see, but I knew as much as they did. I wasn't told much else other than like, oh, we're full right now, you have to go this way. Tell people that. Okay, yeah, we're full, you have to go this way. Now, I'm usually not that good at telling stories. I hope this came across. They don't seem very climatic when I'm telling them out loud, but I'm thinking about them and I'm like, oh my god, did that really just happen? But don't get discouraged. You should work for Disney. There are plenty of other jobs to do than mine. But if you get accepted to the college program and you have to work at Cosmic Rays, it is not all bad, because I mean, I was terrified to work there when I got accepted. I'm like, oh, food and beverage, like, not that bad. Just don't give me Cosmic Rays. And then I was like, oh. It's what you make it. It sounds really cliche, but it is. The good outweighs the bad, except for that one moment. That was a lot. But if that didn't happen, I really wouldn't have a story to tell. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.